Hey all, welcome to AWS ECS IAM Primer. I hope your 2022 is off to a great start. I know mine is. I'm at home with my 3-month-old as it snows outside today. Just a wonderful day here at home. I thought today I'd cover the basics of how IAM works with an AWS ECS cluster, since IAM exists at a few different layers there. My name is Kyler Middleton. I'm a cloud IAM advocate here at IAM Pulse, which means I'm doing my best to educate practitioners and elevate IAM knowledge everywhere I can. So if you're listening to this now, thanks for helping me with my goal. Okay, with no further ado, let's do this. Let's define our terms. If you know all this, don't worry, it'll be super fast. ECS is Elastic Container Service, and it's AWS's prepackaged tool to run containers, like those you build with Docker. You can set any number of containers you'd like, even schedule them, and it'll launch and maintain your container pool. So very cool stuff, all prepackaged from AWS. IAM is any security and access policy you use to govern who can do what, where. ECS, interestingly, uses IAM at several different layers here, which really confused me when I first used it, so we'll go deep into that. Well, a little deep. Okay, let's do that now. Just like the ogres of Shrek, ECS IAM has layers. Let's talk about the several layers you need to worry about. Both of these configurations are part of the task definition in ECS, which is the same object that contains the container launch properties like size of the container, which image to launch, stuff like that. The first is called an execution role. This IAM role is used to gather all the information needed to launch the container. So common items at this layer are the actual image that's stored in ECR, a container registry, any secrets stored in Secrets Manager, any keys, stored in KMS that are used to encrypt those secrets, everything needed to launch the container on the outside. Since IAM is in effect both at the request and response layer, we need to permit this access both at the execution IAM policy, the one we just talked about, as well as each resource that we want IAM to reach out to, like the KMS, Secrets Manager, ECR. There are some intra-account easy defaults that'll help you, like a built-in IAM role. But if you're going cross-account, you're going to need to get really familiar with all of this stuff really quickly. The second layer of IAM is the task role for ECS, which is everything inside the container. It's the IAM role that's handed to the launched container and is the one that the running container process will use to do stuff. This one should contain all the appropriate permissions for the service you're launching to do what it needs to do, which might be nothing if it's just a compute job, or it might be a lot if it's like a Terraform builder node or something like that. The third layer that you'll only run into sometimes is if you need your task IAM role, the one on the inside of the container that's handed off to it, to assume another role. Make sure that the role assigned to your task is able to use the STS assume service, which lets IAM roles assume other roles, and permit it to assume the target IAM role. If that sounds really confusing, that's okay. Totally ignore it for now. We can just move right along. That's it for the basics, the primer of ECS and how IAM is involved. There's obviously a lot more, including the JSON policies that you'll need to write and the understanding of roles and layers that you'll need to get to. And if you want to keep going, which I totally recommend, it's really cool. I have a deep dive of going cross-account CI/CD builders using ECS in an article. Just check below for the text. And we'll have a real-world use case of all of this stuff at IAM Pulse. Come check it out. You can subscribe to get other great stuff from our YouTube and also from our website. Lots of other resources and IAM policies. Why build when you can copy? And we'll be publishing lots of interesting stuff in the coming months.